Drone enthusiasts, you might want to pay close attention to these. The next time you wish to purchase a drone, you may need to register it and take extra care when flying your drone. Our panel looking into unmanned aircraft operations is likely to propose mandatory registrations for drones above a certain weight and stiffer penalties for those who break flying rules. In his first media interview, former RSAF pilot Timothy D'Souza, who heads the 12-member panel, told ST that the initial plan was for them to submit its recommendations to the government next year. The work, however, has taken on new urgency after two decent drone incursions at Changi Airport that led to flights being diverted and delayed. Now, to tell us more, I have senior aviation correspondent Karamjit Kaur. Welcome, Karam.
Hi, Aranta.
2 days in a row, Karam.
Yes.
But of course, for two different things.
Yes.
Right? Now, following the proposed recommendation, what are some of these proposed recommendations by the panel?
Right. Okay. So let's be clear first that this panel has not yet made its official submission to the government. So when I met with Mr. Timothy D'Souza, he just gave me an idea of what some of the recommendations are that they're likely to propose. The actual submission is going to be only later this year. But I think just the work that the panel has done so far, and given the two recent incursions that you just talked about, they are very, very likely going to be proposing that we should have drone registration. So this is not going to be like for all drones. They are looking at a cutoff based on weight.
Right.
And it's not something that Singapore, is alone in proposing. In the US and China already have similar rules for registration, and other countries like Australia is also looking at that.
Right.
So that's one of the proposed recommendations that he expects to be making. The other one is about penalties. So currently there are laws in Singapore that prohibits people from flying drones within 5 kilometers of an airport or an airbase, military airbase. And you cannot fly above 61 meters unless you have a permit.
Right.
And those who are caught, you face a fine of up to $20,000 and 1 year jail term.
Right.
And so when I spoke to Mr. Timothy D'Souza, it was very clear to me that he did not think that these penalties are anywhere near adequate.
Right.
He made the point that, in this particular case, the culprit or culprits, it led to at least eight flights being diverted, almost 50 flights being delayed, and we're talking about thousands of passengers who were inconvenienced, and the cost. One flight diversion can easily cost an airline up to $150,000. So we're not talking about small change here.
Yeah, correct.
And he feels that that Singapore needs to send a very strong signal to troublemakers and people who are thinking of doing such things, that if we catch you, we're going to, lay it on
Go
you.
hard on you. And of course, Karim, you mentioned, of course, the culprit or culprits have not been identified. And then this has caused a growing public concern as to, how come this has not happened, right?
Yes.
People are saying, isn't it easy, just shoot down the drones? Is it that easy, Karim?
No. So, so apart from Mr. Timothy D'Souza, I've also been talking to a few other people. And look, it's very easy to say, oh, how come you've not caught this person or these people? But we need to understand the fact that we have a very small, tight and very busy airspace. Every minute or two there is an aircraft either landing or taking off at or from Changi Airport. And so it's it sounds very easy. Why can't you just shoot the drone down? But to do that, you first have to be there at the right place at the right time. And if you look at the two incidents, they've all happened at night. So this person or people we're dealing with, they're smart. And the other thing is, you need really a marksman to stand there and just shoot the guy down. So I thought Mr. D'Souza gave a very cute anecdote, right?
Analogy, Tell us.
So he said, look, if you have a duck sitting in a huge lake, you get a double-barrel shotgun, just fire 50 pellets, the whole lake will go up, but you'll just kill that one duck. But if you have like many ducks around this duck, you have pelicans and other birds or creatures, then you risk killing all the rest as well, and that is the reality.
The collateral damage involved, right?
Yes, to other aircraft, maybe in the vicinity, and all the radars and signals, you can cause quite major impact on activities in the vicinity. And it's not just that. I think there is technology where they say, just get a net, catch the drone, but again, that drone has to fall somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, and can you imagine if it drops on the PIE? I mean, you know, just thinking about the impact of that, it's disastrous. Not so easy, you know.
And Karam, you know, you've covered aviation stories for the longest time. We know that, right? In your own opinion, and this is something that I want to ask you, what do you think the drone situation would be like in Singapore? Would it be a heavily regulated activity? You know, simply put, would it take out the fun out of, flying a drone?
Yeah, no, I think we need to first understand that the usage of drones, whether it's for commercial or leisure purposes, is going to increase. The CAAS, the Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore, started issuing permits in 2015, and just in the last financial year, they issued something like 2,500 activity permits, and so that number is only going to increase. And while, like you said, it's fun, to fly drones and all, but we need to accept the fact that, again, we have a limited airspace, and it's the same with the roads, right? You've got, cars, bicycles, PMDs. Everyone just needs to play by the rules, yes, you can't fly your drones everywhere, but I think there are enough spaces. I mean, when I go to Bishan Ang Mo Kio Park, I see a lot of people flying their drones. I mean, you don't need to fly your drone, near the airport or, above a certain altitude. It's just not necessary.
Right. There is still within boundaries.
Yes.
Within boundaries. Again, thank you so much for Karam for coming onto the show. Like what Karam mentioned earlier on, of course, the recommendations they are still in its nascent stages.
Yes.
They haven't quite proposed yet. They're still in the midst of talking and all that. Still more to come. And of course, for more on the proposed recommendations, eventually do follow closely our website at www.straitstimes.com.